Hello and welcome to NXT. I'm Tony Luffman, and welcome alongside me, the #1 contender to the NXT Championship, Jinder Mahal. What does that mean to you?
First off, I am the Maharaja. I am the next NXT champion. Never before has there been a superstar of my stature. As for becoming the #1 contender, that's nothing the Maharaja would brag about. I embarrassed a nobody. A nobody, mera na.
Nobody! Am I hearing things, or did you just call me a nobody? Look, man, I'm not whining, I'm not complaining. You beat me last week. But it seems like you aren't giving me any respect. If I'm a nobody, how about a rematch tonight?
Acha bachu, rematch chona tu? You want to be beaten unmercifully? You want to be embarrassed? I accept.
I'm looking forward to it. Oh, a crazy idea. If I'm such a nobody, and it'd be so easy to beat me, why not put your title shot on the line?
I am almost guaranteed to become the next NXT champion. I am locked in with a match with Seth Rollins. Why would I do something like that?
Why not? I'm a nobody. I'm so easy to beat. Unless you're scared that I'll be the one beating you unmercifully.
WWE de. You're on.
It's on.
Introducing the total combined weight of 520 pounds, Connor O'Brien and Kenneth Cameron, Ascension!
Live inside the NXT arena, the most dominating force in the tag team division has taken to the ring. Tom Hannafin here, joined by Tony Luftman for another edition of NXT. And these two are just the most intimidating guys you'll see step into the squared circle.
Dark, brooding, evil, violent. These two are fearless and have cut a swath of destruction at NXT in the tag team realm.
A pair of vicious jackals looking to take on their next opponents. And it's going to be a big night tonight on NXT, as our main event later will be Bo Dallas versus Jinder Mahal, that NXT Championship title opportunity on the line.
And their opponents, at a total combined weight of 475 pounds, the team of Yoshitatsu and Percy Watson.
Well, talk about the Ascension as one of the most intimidating groups, and now you've got Showtime Percy Watson and Yoshitatsu, the pride of the Far East, combining here. We've seen a lot of odd tag teams lately in WWE, and these two are, well, right in that category.
Well, it's interesting to look at the difference across the cultures. Yoshi there bowing to Percy. Percy wanted to slap hands with him, but their chemistry not great on the entrance. We'll see if they're able to piece together a little bit better teamwork during the match.
And here's that aggression from Kenneth Cameron, received by Percy Watson very well to get this match started. Here's that efficiency of the Ascension. A huge leg drop to the back of the head from O'Brien.
Both men in the ring at the same time. Ascension They don't have much respect for their opponents, for the rules, for anything. Authority. These guys are bad, bad guys.
And you can see making the tag there, Kenneth Cameron. These two extremely efficient. They work quickly on their opponents, and they seal off their half of the ring. Look at all these tags.
They're always talking about divide and conquer. They won't speak to anyone else, but you can overhear them talking about isolating a tag team opponent, keeping them away from a potential tag, and harming him. This isn't about winning to them as much as it is hurting people.
And look, Kenneth Cameron isn't even in the ring right now and getting just as much enjoyment as Conor O'Brien is as he wrenches that shoulder of Percy Watson.
The animalistic growls, the joy that they take in inflicting pain is haunting.
Percy Watson, a little bit of trouble right now with the hip toss there. And Conor O'Brien, that ground and pound style of offense, the bigger of the two members of the Ascension, really going to work. And Yoshitatsu can't really help his teammate at all in this situation.
Percy Watson has NFL playing experience. Green Bay Packers, Washington Redskins. He's used to playing against fierce competition. He has been dominated from the very start here. Really, the Ascension have left no room for Yoshi to get involved and for Percy to be able to get his offense going.
And Percy, one of the bigger members of NXT's roster. And then you got Yoshitatsu, who's a tremendous high flyer, a lot of ability and a big backdrop there. That might be the opening Percy Watson needs. Watson escapes into the corner. O'Brien a little too aggressive there, and Watson gets away to Tatsu. Tatsu and Cameron meeting in the center of the ring, a big drop kick. Another big shoulder there, and Cameron manages to get away, makes the tag as he's flipped over by Tatsu. Conor O'Brien is the legal man, and he comes in from behind as now the swarm comes over Tatsu.
It's chaos in the ring, all four men in there.
Oh, there goes Watson.
Oh my goodness.
Yoshitatsu in a world of trouble, left alone in the ring with the Ascension. Another tag made, Cameron, the legal man. Oh, pancake flop. Down goes Tatsu, and in comes Kenneth Cameron. Fall of man. Cameron and O'Brien make quick work of Watson and Tatsu for the victory.
Here are your winners, Ascension.
Well, big time win for the Ascension tonight, and lots more still to come here on this episode of NXT. Bo Dallas and Jinder Mahal are going to go head-to-head in our main event. But Tony, you've actually got to go. You've got a big interview coming up later tonight with Biggie Langston. We're going to be joined by WWE Hall of Famer Jim Ross on commentary.
I was intimidated standing between Bo Dallas and Jinder Mahal. I'll be totally honest, I'm a little bit nervous about interviewing Biggie because, you know, the bounty, Vicky Guerrero, I don't know how he's going to react to me asking about it. We have to ask. The NXT Universe, WWE Universe, everybody is buzzing about this bounty. What does he think about it? We have to find out, and I hope he doesn't get furious with me.
Hey, Lay. You look great, girl. I love your hair. You really like it? Yes. Because it looks so bad, it makes me look so good. Oh, really now? And how do you say real talk? A lot of girls in the back, they don't like what have you done with their hair. No.
Well, first of all, I don't really care what the girls think. And second of all, I'm not gonna take grooming tips, especially from an Eastern Euro trash. And third of all, it's real talk, and everyone's gonna be really talking when I give you this makeover in the ring. So, I'll see you out there later on tonight. And then maybe I'll take out the trash.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, weighing 208 pounds, Corey Graves.
Welcome back here to the NXT Arena as Corey Graves makes his way to the ring. Tom Hannafin here, joined ringside by the Hall of Famer, good old JR.
And his opponent from Exeter, England, weighing 225 pounds, Oliver Gray.
Oliver Gray already in the ring to meet Corey Graves, and this is a polar opposites matchup they are.
Certainly is. Oliver Gray very anxious to get started here. Corey Graves is a very polarizing individual, extremely talented, has plenty of attitude and confidence to become a great star in WWE. That remains to be seen. That's why he's here in NXT.
Well, Corey Graves calls himself the savior of misbehavior. He is chaotic. He is a fan of the underground music scene and nightclubs. He's kind of what you call the bad guy that your girl always wants. This is quite the man in the ring right now with Oliver Gray.
Oliver Gray certainly has an opportunity here with don't know a lot about Oliver. Comes out of England, highly regarded, signed with WWE, placed in NXT. So he could be in another of the long line of greats out of England. We'll see how he evolves in this match.
Applying some pressure here to Corey Graves' arm, a former judo champ and lumberjack from England, mostly a country boy, a ground and pound style from Oliver Gray as he's stuck in the corner here, and Graves fights back.
Well, Graves has got the experience advantage on a massive night here, ladies and gentlemen, on NXT. We know now that Bo Dallas and Jinder Mahal will compete in our main event tonight with Jinder Mahal's NXT title shot on the line. And, I was pretty smart of Bo Dallas to negotiate his way into that opportunity.
Corey Graves going to work on Oliver Gray. Now it's got him pinned onto the turf. And also coming up later tonight, Roman Reigns will be in action. But Corey Graves looking to start things off right here on his return to NXT.
Well, Graves focusing on the legs of Oliver Gray. Anytime one can destroy the vertical base of another, it gives you the opportunity to win virtually any match you're in. Now the grapevine of the leg by Corey Graves.
Corey Graves going to work on Oliver Gray there ringside. And a former occupation of Corey Graves, listen to this one, JR, body modification specialist. What in the world can that mean?
I have no idea. Look at my body, it's never been modified.
There's a pin count, and Oliver Gray cannot finish it.
Graves gets up very quickly. That's a mark of a great athlete. He gets in a near fall situation, back to in attack mode, and with the clubbing blows to the spine and then the knee lift. So that's the ability to change gears is so imperative in sports entertainment. One-dimensional, one-geared athletes, Tom, really don't have a great chance for success.
Graves putting the pressure on Gray here. Oliver trying to fight back as much as he possibly can, looking for the counter there, and Graves fights back immediately with the jiu-jitsu and boxing background. It's very difficult to keep track of him in the ring.
Graves resisted and tried to pull away from the leg, and you saw Graves go right back to offense and drop the point of the elbow in the back of the head of Oliver Graves.
What do you think of the style of Corey Graves? He seems all over the place.
Well, he likes to compete at a very fast pace, and sometimes that can be extremely rewarding, but guys that sometimes compete too fast can lose control and get out of control and make a mistake that costs them.
Graves, setting up that Fuller leg lock on Oliver Gray. We'll see how long he can hold out here.
We saw Graves focusing earlier on the legs of Oliver Gray, excuse me, and now we see the reason for that as Corey Graves looking for a grapevine submission.
And Graves escapes, and now Oliver Gray looking to mount some offense, some big body blows to Corey Graves. A country-strong, technical competitor is Oliver Graves. Not about to quit in this match, but neither is Corey Graves.
Well, Oliver Gray's leg gave way on him there, and and now we're going for the submission. Submission applied by Corey Graves.
And that knee that he just entered working on, and there is the tap out. Oliver Gray submitting to Corey Graves.
There was a method to the madness of the tattooed Corey Graves, who went underground all right. He went under to the legs.
And you see those knuckles of Corey Graves stay down. That is exactly what Oliver Gray has done. And Corey Graves coming up with a big win here on NXT.
Very unusual young man. With a bright future in the eyes of many is Corey Graves.
What a huge win for him over Oliver Gray. When we come back, our own correspondent Tony Luffman will be here with the one and only Big E Langston.
A 3 count is normal. Big E Langston is not normal.
Complete and utter domination by Big E Langston.
That is validation of dominance.
From now on, my opponents will feel the pain, the agony of not getting up from the 5 count.
NXT Universe, it's time to bring out the unstoppable force, the master of the 5 count, your favorite, Big E Langston.
I'm a soldier, yeah, I told ya. I'm on a mission, I'm switching on all over. I'm a soldier, yeah, I told ya. I'm on a mission, I'm switching. You see, I'm in trouble, yeah, I can't keep still, I can't keep still. I'm in trouble, yeah, I can't keep still. I'm addicted to my females.
Big E, the entire NXT Universe is talking about the bounty put on you by Vicky Guerrero. Are you worried?
Worried? Am I worried? Yeah, I'm worried. I'm worried for anyone who's dumb enough to try to claim that bounty. I am Big E, and the E stands for end. An end to anyone who stands across that ring from me. And if you don't believe me, I'll give you a reason. Better yet, I'll give you 5 reasons. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5.
Oh!
Camacho coming from behind and taking on that bounty.
Almost like a drive-by by Camacho. If that was Camacho, I think it was. Assaulting Big E from behind. And yes, there is a $5,000 bounty on the head of that man that someone can collect if they can put Big E out of action, thanks to Vicky Guerrero.
Later this evening, young upstart Bo Dallas gets one more chance at glory when he faces Jinder Mahal with Mahal's NXT title opportunity at Seth Rollins on the line in their huge main event tonight.
The following is a Divas contest scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, from Miami, Florida, Layla.
Well, the beautiful Layla making her way to the ring here inside the NXT arena for what should be a fantastic match. JR here joined me at ringside, Tom Hannafin, and this should be a good one.
Layla lives in Miami, but she is originally from London. Former WWE Divas champion. She's sustained a knee injury about less than a year ago, came back better than ever.
And one of the best within the Divas division, looking to keep it rolling.
And her opponent from Lithuania, Aksana.
Well, the crowd here in Orlando, Florida seems to love Aksana as she makes her way to the ring, gaining some maybe making some enemies at ringside.
I don't know, Tom, that she's exactly loved. Maybe some of the male fans should probably have some adoration for Aksana. Of course, Aksana started her career here in NXT. She's the one that brought Antonio Cesaro to WWE. Their relationship has ended some time ago, and now Aksana focusing on her own individual career, and what an opportunity Aksana has to meet the former Divas champion here.
And a victory over Layla would put her in the driver's seat in the future for any opportunities at the Divas title. Looking for a quick pin here early is Layla, but Aksana rolls out of it. Layla enjoyed a lot of success so far in WWE and looking to improve here against Aksana. Aksana planting her onto the canvas. From the Ukraine and from England is Layla, so a very foreign influence here in this match.
Certainly so is the global footprint that WWE has around the world. And Aksana wisely staying near the ropes, which she knows that the official must break Layla. Aksana's in the ropes. That's an automatic break on the count of 4. She's disqualified on 5. And look at Aksana go right back to the apron of the ring. Well, this is a seductive waste of time.
Not exactly keeping her focus in this match against Layla. And Layla taking advantage from behind with the baseball slide.
Well, that'll certainly get Aksana refocused on what's going on inside the ring.
Well, Aksana hops right back in the ring, meeting those feet of Layla.
Aksana's a powerful woman. Oh, look nice.
Looking for the roll-up, almost as the 2 count, and that one rolled away by Aksana. Looking for another pin is Layla, has her all bottled up, but cannot get the victory.
A couple of real nice offensive maneuvers by Layla. A couple of variations of cradles, nicely done.
A big kick to the gut there against Aksana. Layla looking to mount some offense as she's pulled off the top rope. One of the more athletic divas in the division. Now here's the cover. Looking for 2, and Aksana cannot get it.
Layla, former Miami Heat cheerleader. Certainly nothing to cheer about right now as Aksana has the advantage. I wonder if, how many fans in Lithuania are fans of Aksana. She's the only Lithuanian star in WWE that I can recall from that part of the world.
And using that influence she's had from around the world, looking for the cover, and escaping is Layla. And proving, she may have not been too focused there, but she brings it when she is brought to the boiling point there, as Layla did with that kick.
Aksana disputing the referee's 3 count, but she's smart enough to know the rules. Aksana broke on 4 because she knows, again, she'll be disqualified on 5. And now the head triangle. This is a version of a headlock, only using the legs.
Looking to suck the life out of Layla here, and if a win is in the cards here for Aksana, she could be in the running with Paige within the Divas division here at NXT. A lot of great competition amongst the ladies here.
I think the fans are beginning to realize just how strong Aksana is, especially with the great leg strength that she's a. Look at this, that's an interesting, some interesting offense there. Somewhat unorthodox, yet very effective by Aksana.
Here's a cover, 1 count, 2, and almost had the victory there. Layla meekly getting out of that one.
So Aksana in control at the moment. But I've seen Layla, when you can fight through ACL surgery and rehabilitate yourself, come back better than ever, Layla's not going to quit.
Layla in another bad predicament here, almost with the cover. And going again for the pin is Aksana, and Layla fighting back. Another cover from Aksana. And now Layla fighting back with fury.
Aksana wisely trying to cover up and then counters with a clothesline. Again, the strength of Aksana becoming more and more of a factor.
Devastating clothesline there, puts Layla on the mat. What do you think of Aksana so far? She looked like she may have been a little bit distracted earlier in this match, but she has zoned in entirely on Layla at this point.
I think Aksana's got a very bright future, and she's so, again, her strength, and she obviously wants to be successful. The more successful one becomes in WWE, the more money one makes. And I would think that, as anyone else, Aksana wants money.
Taking a look at the camera there was Aksana, and again that lack of focus coming into play. Looking at trash talk she was, and now Layla coming back with a big arm to the chest.
Aksana wasn't respecting Layla, now she may pay for it.
Big kick to the gut. Layla in command here, off the ropes and plants her lateral press, looking for the pin. She might have it, and Aksana kicks out.
Again, the powerful leg strength of Aksana, able to kick out of the pinning predicament from the springboard maneuver of Layla.
Huge kick to the face there. Aksana looking to get away, and now Layla, back of the head.
That may be the shot.
That could do it. Yes, it does. Layla. Huge win for her inside the Divas division, and Aksana has got to be kicking herself for losing some focus during this match.
I think that certainly a very competitive matchup. Quite frankly, that could have gone either way on more than one occasion, and something tells me that we haven't seen the last of this particular rivalry.
And coming up next, we bring you some footage from what we heard earlier today from Bray Wyatt, which can only be described as peculiar.
Ever since the beginning of time, there's been those people, those simple little everyday normal people. And they spend all the time, they spend their lives denouncing my name. They tell everyone I'm a liar and that my words mean nothing. Well, let's play a game. Let's play a fun little game. I like games. Let's play pretend for a second. Let's pretend that everything I say is true, that I have told you no lie. Let's pretend for 1 second that I am every bit of the monster that they think I am. Let's play that game. How do you stop me? How do you stop something like this? How do you stop something that wins wars without lifting a finger? How do you stop something that's been worshipped by every culture since the dawn of ages? How do you stop something that can never be destroyed? And if you're looking for that angle, please, come find me. I'm out here with all my friends. I'm the king of this jungle. And if you're looking for the whereabouts, look in the sky and follow the buzzards. Follow the buzzards.
#1 contender Jinder Mahal risked it all as he hangs his NXT title opportunity in the balance against the determined Bo Dallas tonight in our main event on NXT. And thanks to Out of Sight for Now or Never, the official theme song of Survivor Series. The single is available now on iTunes.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, from Pensacola, Florida, weighing 265 pounds, Roman Reigns.
Boy, this must be one of the most impressive competitors, I think, physically, I have ever seen here on NXT, JR.
Couldn't agree more.
His opponent, from Boston, Massachusetts, weighing 238 pounds, Chase Donovan.
Roman Reigns and Chase Donovan set to do action, and Roman Reigns, as we mentioned, on his way to the ring. This is what some people within the WWE Universe has dubbed as a can't-miss prospect. He is physically impressive beyond belief.
Well, you're right about that. There are no guarantees for stardom in WWE. It's a long, hard trail, I can promise you, but one thing's for sure. Roman Reigns is generally thought of as the bluest of the blue chips right now in NXT.
Still got a lot on his hands here as Chase Donovan looking to give up a fight, and LeBron James has often been the name thrown around here with Roman Reigns, the LeBron James of wrestling. That's a lot of pressure put on Roman Reigns, but he says that he loves it.
Well, he likes the self-imposed pressure. LeBron James might be a stretch at this point in the game, but nonetheless, you know, Chase Donovan was signed to be here as well. So the issue is that Chase Donovan may not have the fanfare of Roman Reigns, but Chase Donovan is talented or he wouldn't be signed to NXT.
Roman Reigns looking direct traffic here with the cameraman, and another huge slam to the canvas. And Chase Donovan's back has to be screaming out in pain.
Well, the thing about Roman Reigns is he has size, probably 6'5", strength and agility. He's got great DNA, there's no doubt about that.
And applying that claw onto the shoulder of Chase Donovan. Roman Reigns, very confident individual. You'd see him trying to get all the attention on him here from this crowd inside the NXT arena.
Well, the thing about it, you can spend a lot of hours in a weight room, you can do a lot of agilities and running, but you can't teach it. And many are of the belief that Roman Reigns has it, that intangible, that can't be taught. And I'm certainly not going to debate that point because thus far I have been overly overwhelmed and very impressed with Roman Reigns.
Looking impressive so far in this one as Chase Donovan is reeling.
You notice that Roman Reigns doesn't get in a hurry. This match will be wrestled at Roman Reigns' pace. He makes very few mistakes. But look at the kid from Boston is fighting back.
Donovan backed off there by that huge headbutt and a slap to the chest. As Chase Donovan down to one knee, Roman Reigns in complete control so far this matchup, and a huge diving clothesline.
Reigns very athletic for a man of his size. Again, he's probably 260, could probably be 280 just as easily at 6'5".
And an unbelievable roar echoing throughout the NXT arena. Reigns has Donovan lined up and bam into the canvas.
Nothing but high impact.
And that is gonna do it. Chase Donovan didn't stand a chance. Roman Reigns absolutely dominant here on NXT.
Well, Reigns is rolling, but there's something askew as far as he's concerned, apparently.
I believe trying to get the attention of our ring announcer, Byron Saxton.
It ain't just Roman Reigns, the thoroughbred Roman Reigns. Get it right. Do it again.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner, the thoroughbred Roman Reigns.
And he doesn't seem too satisfied with that one.
You want to be here? Are you not impressed? Huh? I told you announce it, put some flavor on it, son. Do it again and do it right.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner, the thoroughbred Roman Reigns.
Well, it looks like the young man finally got what he wanted, JR. An appropriate victory call there from Byron Saxton.
We'll take one more look at how it all went down, and you see the athleticism and impact. And that was not the only impact. You see it again here, using power, velocity, agility, it's all there. The entire package is there for Roman Reigns, who knows what he wants and feels very entitled that he already deserves it.
Well, NXT is certainly his oyster at this point, making his presence felt. And Chase Donovan, the victim in this case, Roman Reigns looking to move throughout NXT up the ladder to establish dominance. Everything to lose tonight for Jinder Mahal as his NXT title shot is on the line against Bo Dallas. That's coming up next right here on NXT.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, from Punjab, India, weighing 222 pounds, Jinder Mahal.
Welcome back to this edition of NXT. You're looking at the #1 contender for the NXT Championship. Jinder Mahal placing the sacred headwear, the pedigree inside its case, and he is ready to do battle with Bo Dallas, JR.
This should be a very interesting matchup, our main event here this week, and And certainly Bo Dallas outmaneuvering Jinder Mahal verbally as we came on the air. And as much as that Jinder Mahal's #1 contendership is at stake in this match. Bo Dallas wins. Bo Dallas gets the shot at NXT champion Seth Rollins.
His opponent from Brooksville, Florida, weighing 230 pounds, Bo Dallas.
Well, Bo Dallas having some extreme words for Jinder Mahal earlier, as you mentioned backstage, putting the finger into the chest of Jinder Mahal, questioning him and looking to get a shot at the NXT title. And I think Bo Dallas has every right to throw his hat in the ring.
Well, Bo Dallas baited the hook, threw it in the water, and guess what he caught? He caught a largemouth Jinder Mahal who took it hook, line, and sinker. Now we have a one-fall match. And Mahal's got everything to lose and nothing to gain here.
And Bo Dallas before this match was calling him too scared to get in the ring with him, challenging the Prince of Punjab. And now they're meeting in the ring, everything on the line, as you mentioned, for Jinder Mahal. He can lose it all right here as he lost that NXT Championship Tournament Finals to Seth Rollins.
Certainly Bo Dallas and Jinder Mahal, no strangers in the NXT tournament to determine the first ever NXT champion. I've been very impressed with Bo Dallas in recent weeks. He has been on fire. He has shown an amazing level of enthusiasm. His skill set is improving each and every week. And for those of us that have followed Jinder Mahal and his exploits over the last several months, he is an individual that is one to be reckoned with. As a matter of fact, our colleague William Regal thought that Jinder Mahal would actually become the first NXT champion.
A bold prediction there from William Regal. Jinder Mahal looking to become the second NXT champion. And here comes that explosiveness we thought we saw early in the match from Bo Dallas, one of the more hard-nosed competitors we've seen here on NXT. Jinder Mahal taking control here, looking for that ground and pound style of offense.
Mahal has the height advantage, which gives him some leverage opportunities. We're seeing that now in the overhand wrist lock. And the handful of hair is illegal. The referee saw it. You gotta break what you see. I don't know why that hole's not broken, quite frankly. The referee saw what was going on.
And Jinder Mahal, a very confident individual who demands obedience from anyone he steps into the ring with, even before he walks into the arena.
Mahal somewhat aloof, somewhat privileged with his upbringing and his background. That's certainly his prerogative. Bo Dallas, his grandfather is one of my all-time favorites, Blackjack Mulligan.
And almost a pinfall there. Jinder Mahal managing to escape there. Now Bo Dallas in trouble, gets away again.
There's a lot of Bobby Jack Mulligan in Bo Dallas, let me tell you, as far as temper and temperament is concerned. The son of IRS, Mike Rotunda.
And another escaping maneuver there from Jinder Mahal, and now Bo Dallas back in control, looking to work the head of Jinder Mahal.
Nice, Tom, you notice the drop to hold and the float over very quickly right back to the headlock. You know, as the old cliche goes, you control the head, you control the body. Young Bo Dallas has just got great DNA. Of course, Jinder Mahal's family has also been in the ring, competed his uncle, very successful.
This is our main event tonight here on NXT. Bo Dallas looking to take out Jinder Mahal on his way to an NXT title shot. If he can knock him off, he will face Seth Rollins on NXT.
For our fans watching in the UK tonight, one of their favorites, Paige, will be here with us next week.
The enchanted raven-haired lady, as William Regal would call her.
I understand that Bray Wyatt's going to be with us next week as well, so it should be another outstanding hour of NXT action. We're glad that you're with us, and thanks for inviting us into your home, everybody.
Bo Dallas looking to come back, that huge knee to the back of Jinder Mahal, and now fighting back with a clothesline.
Bo Dallas has got more quickness and explosiveness, in my opinion, than does Jinder Mahal. It certainly doesn't mean that Dallas is a layup to win this one, but it increases Bo's chances. Oh, there's a high risk he taking. Oh, look at the camel clutch.
Looking to put this one away early was Mahal. Bo Dallas attacking with those rights, looking to get out of this predicament. And Mahal wisely escapes the ring here. Gonna give himself a little bit of a breather. This NXT title on the line. Who will get the shot?
Number one.
Opportunity to face NXT champion Seth Rollins is on the line. Jinder Mahal with everything to lose. He is the #1 contender, but right now Bo Dallas has him figuratively and literally against the ropes.
Well, earlier tonight, Jinder Mahal was theorizing that he was the greatest thing ever in NXT. Bo Dallas took exception to that, and Bo Dallas basically baited Jinder Mahal to put the #1 contendership on the line. That's what we have here, a one-fall match in our main event. The winner of this match, ladies and gentlemen, will be the #1 contender for the NXT Championship, currently held by the charismatic Seth Rollins.
Jinder Mahal in a world of trouble. Bo Dallas with the suplex there, now looking for the cover. Got a 2 count, but that's all. Jinder Mahal manages to escape.
So far, the #1 contender, the reigning #1 contender, Jinder Mahal, has been unable to get really untracked as the 3rd-generation star, Bo Dallas, has his game plan intact, has only taken 1 high risk. And that's unusual for the fiery young superstar, Bo Dallas.
Dallas has really taken control of this match. He has managed to ground Mahal. Now looking for the cover. Might have the win here, but Mahal escapes yet again.
Longtime fans will remember, as I alluded to earlier, Blackjack Mulligan, Bo Dallas's grandfather, wore a black glove on that right hand as well.
Bo Dallas, if he can come out with this matchup here, he is going to be quite a handful for Seth Rollins. Either man in that ring is really going to give a champion a run for their monny.
No, Tom, you're right there, but there are a lot of guys, quite frankly, here in NXT that, oh man, what a shot to the arm. And into the face that will give Seth Rollins a run for his money.
Mahal with the running knee, and he plants him onto the mat. Looking for the cover with the lateral press, and kicking out of it is Dallas.
That running knee reminds me of the great Harley Race. He didn't miss on it too often, I can tell you that. And that is a hard blow, a striking blow, again with the knee. And now Mahal in control.
Looking for the cover, almost with the win, and now Mahal looking to put Dallas into another awkward position. This one has been a ping pong match back and forth all night.
But you see the continuity and what works for Jinder Mahal. First the knee to the face, and then the knee drop to the sternum, and now a sitting abdominal stretch, a submission maneuver applied by the man that has the leverage advantage, Jinder Mahal.
Jinder Mahal known for that camel clutch, but this one looks equally painful. Bo Dallas in a world of trouble right now. If he wants his opportunity at the NXT Championship, he's gonna have to sustain long, painful matches like this one. And he's in right now with Jinder Mahal.
I think both these young men have great futures in WWE. It's just a matter of if and when, or maybe just when. If is probably out of the equation. I think it's going to happen for both of them. But it's not an easy place to get your locker. It's not an easy place to earn your right to be.
Both these men equally tough, have fought their way to the top right now and looking to get to the very peak of the mountain. Dallas battling away. Escapes and finally flips away is Jinder Mahal. Big kick to the face. Now a roll-up cover. Can he get the win? No, he can't. Mahal gets away.
I think the kick was blocked, and therefore that was the cover. Now the backslide, both arms hooked.
Plants him and cannot get the victory. The official signals 2, and a big kick to the knee. Oh, and another one to the head. Mahal responding quickly in a pinch.
2 stiff kicks, one to the patella, the kneecap, the other to the head. And now Jinder Mahal with the advantage. And I don't know if the slaps are going to win him a match.
And a huge knee to the gut. Looking for another drop here. Almost with the cover, and Mahal cannot seem to put Bo Dallas away. And this has been Dallas's trademark for his entirety here in NXT.
On 3 key knee strikes by Jinder Mahal after our last commercial break of the evening. All have been very effective, and all have led to Jinder Mahal earning an advantage here in a very rugged sense.
One of the more rough and tumble style superstars we have ever seen here on NXT, and Jinder Mahal in complete control here, and a little bit more focused on taunting his opponent than anything right now, but a big blow to the head, and Bo Dallas is down again.
Jinder Mahal can be very arrogant, very annoying at times with his verbosity.
Dallas looking to put Mahal on the ropes.
There's a kick for you. That's a return. The receipt came back with a kick right to the head and a clothesline with a knockdown.
Puts him down again. Dallas starting to roll. Shot to the gut. Gets some momentum building and clubs him down to the mat.
When the pace quickens, Bo Dallas becomes a little bit unorthodox. You don't know quite where he's coming from. Nice throw.
The cover. He might have it here, and finally getting away is Mahal.
That was a close near fall for that Greco-Roman-like throw as a suplex by Bo Dallas. Got a near fall out of it.
With a head of steam right into that covered ring post.
You got the turnbuckle. Bo Dallas ate the second turnbuckle. It's not got barbecue sauce on it, let me tell you.
Well, no.
Camel clutch.
He's got it locked in, and Bo Dallas is in a world of pain.
Dallas had a head-on collision with the second turnbuckle. That probably could have beat him right there, but Jinder Mahal wants to punish the man with this camel clutch, and there's a tap.
And that is going to do it. Bo Dallas cannot hold on after a clever maneuver there from Jinder Mahal to put himself in the driver's seat and then putting away Bo Dallas.
A lot of guts and determination by Bo Dallas. Have a world of, look at this impact right here, right? Boom, right there. Now that was probably a knockout shot. That should have probably beaten Bo Dallas, but again, Jinder Mahal wanted the submission. And Bo Dallas had no other opportunity, ladies and gentlemen, but to submit in the painful camel clutch applied by Jinder Mahal. There was no way out, no other option for, come on, this is unnecessary.
Mahal doesn't appear to be done with Dallas
Bo
yet.
Dallas is helpless, for God's sakes. The kid can't defend himself. There's no reason for this. No reason for this at all.
Into the ring, here comes the champ, Seth Rollins, coming to the aid of Bo Dallas.
Seth Rollins obviously agrees with that philosophy. There's no reason for this. And somewhere down the road, it's going to be Seth Rollins and Jinder Mahal for the NXT Championship. And that is one match that I do not want to miss.
The #1 contender looking strong in this matchup, taking out Bo Dallas. And his opportunity still in his back pocket. He is ready to take on Seth Rollins. He wants that title shot in the worst way.
Jinder Mahal came in with the #1 contendership hanging in the balance, leaves with it firmly in his grasp. And somewhere, sometime, I hope we see right here on NXT, that man Jinder Mahal challenge Seth Rollins for the NXT Championship.